Yay! Hello! Hello, everybody!
Hello.
Hi.
On this Sunday morning for us, evening for you guys, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
We've lost track of who's in what time zone at this point.
You can explain that in a minute to us, I'm sure. So welcome back to my lovely guests, my fellow co-hosts, as always, over... I'm going to try and do it on the opposite note. Yeah, that's we've got Alice,
Someday we'll know how to do that.
and then Jem down in the corner. So hello. And then our special guests. I'm going to get the banner ready for this. Welcome to Scott and Charlotte. Charlotte from Charlotte Malloy and Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. People watching in the future, I will link your channels in the description, fear not. So, yes. How are you guys? That's the first thing to say.
Great, thank you. Very well.
I'm really good. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, we're so happy you guys have come back, and because this is your second time coming back with us, so we're very grateful that you did agree to do so.
And our first time on a live stream ever together, me and Scott, which is really nice.
Oh, wow.
It's a special moment.
This chemistry is all organic.
And our first guests from the Southern Hemisphere. Our only guests from the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh, that's true.
Plodalong.
Yes. Everyone in the comments, tell us how you're doing on this Sunday, how you all are. I'm going to go over and say hello to everybody. We've got Zach. Hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
And we've got the lovely Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Obviously, Jen. Hi, Jen. Jen normally sleeps till lunchtime, so we're very, very honoured.
I am impressed, Jen, that you're up. I am.
And then, hey, Ellen.
Hi.
And hey, Des.x.
Hello.
Hello. We said hello. So what were your guys' initial impressions on the Women's Prize long list / short lists? Like, you can say non-fiction as well if you've read Touch the Non-Fiction. I know that Scott has read all of the fiction. But yeah, so you can...
Do you want to go first, Scott, or shall I?
You can go first if you like, Charlotte.
Okay, so I was shocked that there were some big names that obviously were missing, and how pretty much everyone's predictions, as usual, kind of like last year, everyone's predictions last year and this year kind of like failed miserably across the board. But then I thought, okay, right, bunch of books we don't know. Book has done this before. They give us like a bunch of debut novels. This could go well. And then reading the blurbs, I must admit, after posting my initial reaction video, reading the blurbs, I already had a couple of things where I was thinking, right, so thematically, these are kind of there's quite a lot of similar themes coming out here. It's like a lot of motherhood and it's a lot of migration. And I would say generally my reading doesn't really involve those themes too much. Like, they do a little bit, but it wasn't kind of like, okay, this list of 16 books could then go one of two ways for me if they're all quite similar. Yes, there's a lot of there's diversity in sense in terms of different area of the world, that sort of thing, but I was reading the blurbs and nothing was really jumping out at me. There was a few that I had previously tried, like Megan Nolan's. I DNF'd the previous summer, but I gave it another go and got to like 50% this time rather than 25. So there was things like that. But I think just in general, the list didn't work for me in terms of not books that I would naturally gravitate towards, or authors that I've tried before in the past, kind of like Kate Grenville, who I know does a certain type of book. Even the front cover kind of gives you a vibe on what this is going to be. And then it's like, okay, I know that I'm not generally going to pick up that sort of book by that author. So yeah, in general, not great. And I have tried a lot of them, finished a few, but that's my take on this year's long list. Not great. I'm not sure if I prefer this one or last year. I think probably last year's long list in general.
Okay, that's fair. How about you, Scott, then? So, because I think you've got a different kind of reaction. But
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite. I think this is So much better than last year's. I think that this is the best Women's Prize long list I have ever seen.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I love that. I love this. I love this so much. Tell us
Yeah.
why. Tell us why.
I love it. Before I'd even seen it, like I'd read half the long list beforehand, and there were so many books that I loved on there. So many 5 stars. Like Enter Ghost is an incredible book, and Night Bloom, I was so happy to see Night Bloom on there, and like that's an author that doesn't get the hype, doesn't get the hype that we like, and she's getting some love. And I really enjoyed the Wren by Anne Enright, and I know other people. Yeah. You look like you're in pain, Charlotte.
I am. Oh, God.
You know us so well.
I do think, though, Scott, that you actually might be the only person on BookTube to really champion the Wren.
Good though. That's good.
I have seen some good reviews on Goodreads for the Wren.
Yeah,
I was
but
trying to absorb other people's
Right.
5-star reviews and trying to get their opinion, but it didn't work.
I think Simon Savage liked the Wren. I think if I remember from watching his vlogs. I think.
You didn't mind it, did you, Alice?
Yeah, I thought it was a good book. Not a lot happens, but I thought it was good. Well written.
I thought it started
I did think it was
strong,
well
and then I was just so bored.
I was bored. It's like I did this, then I did this, and then I did
Yeah.
this. Great. Where are we going with all of this?
I think it's
Nowhere.
just because-
Nowhere is where we went.
Nowhere.
Charlotte. Absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, I think
But I
for me,
felt like
I
a lot
liked
of the
Ordinary
books
Human
reflected
Failings so
that.
much better, and it's kind of like it's not the same at all, but you know what I mean. It's that there is similar kind of vibes to it a little bit, but yeah, I just thought so. I was just like, eh. It was
would've
very good writing.
Ordinary
Sorry?
Human Failings make it. I would have liked to see Ordinary Humans
I
Failings.
love that book. That was
Yeah,
such a great
it was-
book.
That was a disappointment to see that one miss out, and but there's too many I liked. You can't fit them all into 6. That was
So, what was your actual favourites? Like, if you was to pick, like, tell us your actual like standouts.
I
Scott.
think Enter
Um,
Ghost. Yeah, I
yeah,
just
Enter
that book is good on so many different levels. It does all these little nice literary fiction things that I normally think are horrible and over the top, but because it did that and it paid respect to the characters and the plot, and it just wrote a good book, and then it did all these fancy stuff, I could enjoy it, and I was happy and centered, and I think that's a bit of a special novel. And then it's got the whole Palestine Israel thing, and it's got the woman moving on with her life and rediscovering who she is. There's the big themes that are important.
That's good. What is for the ones you finished, Charlotte? You mentioned reading some. Which were the ones you finished?
So I finished The Maiden, which was actually the first one that I finished, and I actually thought that one was all right. Actually, I didn't mind that one. And then I also finished Ordinary Human Failings. I couldn't quite get fully behind that, just because the initial setup, having no experience whatsoever of how this would actually happen in real life, but the idea of this sort of journalist commandeering this very vulnerable family that's tied up with a child murder case, and him sort of being able to siphon them off into a hotel, and there being no police presence seemingly whatsoever, or any. I was thinking, is that really how that would go? Is there not going to be like, I just imagine there's going to be like a policeman stood on their doorstep almost 24 hours a day. So maybe that's totally unrealistic. But I was thinking, really? I thought the journalists and the media at large were sort of kept at arm's distance from anyone associated with murder, especially child murder, vulnerable social groups, etc. So I found the initial premise not believable, and that kind of, whilst I thought it was the writing was great, nice structure, I felt like I was really moving through the book at a nice speed. I also thought that the multiple perspectives in what is a 220 page-ish book was a bit too fast for me to really kind of sink into that person. And then my only other thing was when it got onto this sort of teenage mum and her backstory, I was thinking, God, how many more cliches can we possibly throw at this before we get some sort of something different, something outside of what is always seemingly always in these teen mum stories. So
That's fair.
that's the only thing.
That's a fair point.
So I'd say 2. I gave a good try at the Ren before DNFing. Hangman, I got to about 50% before I DNF'd, and I was just no, it didn't work for me. I thought it was to start with. I was like, this is great. There's a dead person next to him on the plane. Great. We're getting out of the airport, and some random man says, "Hi, I'm your brother," and he's like, "I'm not your brother. Let's go in a taxi ride." Great. It's going to be really weird, and I like kind of weird books. But then he started kind of sitting down, speaking to some woman, talking about pigeons and sandwiches. And I was thinking, no, this is going.
The pigeon bit was weird. The pigeon bit was really, really weird. Actually, the whole book was really weird. Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, you really didn't like that one, Scott, did you? I remember you having a very, very strong reaction to that book.
It was on my worst reads of last year, and then it got listed. I was like, oh no, and I didn't feel like I'd read it enough to like really give it a proper review. So I'm like, you've got to give it another shot, and then I gave up halfway through. It's just not it's too it's just like throwing stuff at a brick wall and seeing what would stick, like Jackson Pollock art sort of.
I properly hard. I know I don't know hard loved it, but I loved it, and I don't even know why. Like, because the beginning bit, I felt like I was suffocating, and I felt like the first chapter it took me like an hour and a half to read the first chapter, and then after that, I was just like in some like mad hypnotic trance, and I don't know what the fuck was going on that weekend, but I was just like, maybe it was just like said something about my headspace at the time, but I was like, yeah, this is fucking weird, but I kind of like it. I do not know what I read, but fine. So yeah. How are you girls getting on with your Women's Prize reading, Alice and Jem?
Yeah, I finished River East, River West yesterday.
Tell us. We want to know.
I DNF'd it last month, to be honest. And then it was shortlisted. So I was like, okay, I'll try again. It wasn't that terrible. But I feel like she was trying to give this really impactful, sad, sort of trauma type story. And it had no impact on me whatsoever because I didn't care about either of the characters.
And I think that was one that I was the most surprised that made it onto the shortlist. When that popped up, I was thinking,
so
I expected that one to get on there.
Even more than Dolly?
Actually, no, still River West. Yeah.
So yeah, it was fine. It was a book, but it was just not my cup of tea at all.
Have you read
any more? Just started A Flat Place for the non-fiction.
Oh, that's a good book. I like Flat Place.
Yeah, I'm halfway through that, so that's good because the library want it back on Tuesday.
Oh dear.
Have you read any more, Jen?
Well, yeah, I read The Ren the Wren, or I audio booked it, and
what did you think of the audio bit?
Yeah, so I quite liked Nell as a character. I thought she was quite interesting. I quite liked her sections, and then Carmel I just thought was dull as dishwater, and I was like, I just don't give a sherbet about your life. And I think part of the problem was I was also reading Exciting Times by Nisha Dolan at the same time.
Oh, that's a great book. I really liked that one.
I DNF'd that.
No.
I think I've just had enough of the messy girl trope, like young woman can't get her shit together. Like, I'm just sick of it. It's like, get your shit together. Just like, I want to hear like about your ridiculous drama because you can't get yourself like a proper job. Like, go and get a proper job. Do you know what I mean? No. And like sleeping with ridiculous men. It's like, well, it's your own fault, really, isn't it? Don't come whinging to me about it. So,
We're here for a salty gem. We all love a salty gem. This is what we come here.
That was part of the reason why I kind of ended up ditching In Defense of the Act. Having thought this is going to be great, I got to the point where she was kind of in college, being incredibly insecure, but having this front of I'm so great, better than everybody else, but I'm seriously crippled with insecurity inside. But don't talk to me, la la la. I was thinking, oh God, do we have to do this? So I was thinking that I was out on that one.
Yeah, no,
In Defense of the Act is one of my favourites, Charlotte.
I do like In Defense of the Act, but I think I'm more of like an advocate for like just squash your shit down and like get on with it.
You definitely are.
That doesn't make
That's like how I live my life.
So true.
So,
Right, I'm going to go to the comments and see what everyone's saying in the
I think
comments.
we've got quite a lot of pod chat going on in there.
Oh, is it? I'll find that in a second. I'm just going to skim through. Where are we? There's so many comments. Here we go. Oh, we've got Alex. Mr. King, hello. Everyone say hello to Alex. Danny said that very sleepy, if I'm honest. No reading will be done as a massive sum. That's understandable. Morning all. Halfway through. I'm sorry, Charlotte.
I was about to say, Alex, my aim this plod along is to do better at the questions than I did on your quiz.
We'll get to that in a bit. To be fair, ours is quite fair because it's options. It's like
and easier and less obscure, to be fair.
it's multiple choice, so you know you've got time to do it right.
I can't go wrong. Yeah, it'd be fine.
Claire says, morning all, morning, hey. Halfway through the long list, In Defense of the Act is still my favourite. 100% agree with this. But love Soldier Sailor.
Soldier Sailor.
Love Soldier Sailor. Third way through Brotherless Night. Hi Rachel. Third way through Brotherless Night and loving it so far. In between that and the Enter Ghost for the win. Oh, we'll get to that in a bit actually, you guys, and say which one's your thing. But yeah, that's interesting. We've got Amelia's come along. Hi.
Hello.
Hey Julie, halfway through with Reese with the rest and likely to DNF.
Do it.
Yeah, getting better.
Ordinary Humans Failings was so promised and were promising, well written. I think that wanted a bit more resolution for what happened to Mia. That's understandable. Most interesting character to me was Lucy. Wanted more from her.
Yeah, I would agree with that actually.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, Owen. To be honest, I don't know how anyone can take this list seriously when there are no books to explore the workings of the dolphin community this year.
How will we get by?
I know they left a big hole in the list by not having sexy clams for sure.
I think you just need to reinterpret Hangman to include sexy dolphins. Really, that's I
mean, yeah, they did have pigeons. They had old people with cats. The cat thieves. Did you get to the cat thief bit? The cat theft bit? Either any of you guys? Because that was so funny. That was like my favourite book of Hat bit.
I didn't even remember that bit when you asked me about that.
Because yeah, it was like this old couple in Hangman, and they trained their cats to become thieves, and it was just so funny. I don't know. It was really weird. That did make me laugh. Anyway, I liked River East, but there was a couple of moments that were so melodramatic. Preferred Nightbloom. Oh, you like Nightbloom, didn't you? Yes. We've got Kieran. Hi, Kieran. If there is no pod, there is no list.
Oh, has Kieran finished Soldier Sailor yet?
I think he said it's just arrived. I saw that. I think there's this. Yeah.
I was wondering how long it would take for us to get to Soldier Sailor.
Oh, it's so good. Have you tried it?
I've tried it. Yeah.
You do.
I just think I think honestly, it's just I'm gonna read it again, I guess, after I've had a child, because I feel like I'm missing that element of relating to this woman who's just kind of it was like borderline whiny for me, and I'm not sure if it's something that I need to be able to relate to in terms of like the sleep deprivation, total exhaustion, total love for this thing that's like, you know, I think I'm just missing the element of I haven't had a child, so this isn't hitting presumably where it's hitting for, you know, lots of other women. So
Fair.
And also stream of consciousness as well is a big thing where I really have to battle my way through stream of consciousness. It's just something that I really struggle with. So
bucked the trend for me.
Yeah, the audio book for Soldier Sailor is amazing. That's what I would say for that.
Mm.
So did Pod 2 get shortlisted? Well, clearly not. Pod, here we go. We've got all of the pod puns. Here we go. Here we go. Get it because it's a. Oh my god. I can't even. So Restless Dolphin warned up.
They're going to be spamming the comments now.
Yeah, they are. This is fun. So Amelia said that she loved Intervents of the Act, currently reading Soldier Sailor, waiting for Enter Ghost and Ordinary Human Failings to come in from the library. All those are good books to come in. I hope they come in soon for you.
Mm-hmm.
I never read so many books from the Women's Prize long list before. So well,
Yes, Amelia.
And Claire said that she never felt so seen with Soldier Sailor. Oh, that's so lovely. The brownie points for Soldier Sailor, staying so witty whilst.
Yes, I'm with you, Claire. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's such a great book. I just think I really, really can't wait to read more by her. So yeah.
Yeah, same.
I do have one question about Soldier Sailor though. From the sense I got about it, it was kind of like her marriage was breaking down at the same time that she had this like infant son to take care of. Does her marriage actually break down, or does she kind of like, is it still together? That's my only question about it. Is she kind of like, does she turn into a single mum by the end of the book sort of thing?
So that would be a spoiler, Charlotte. But what I would say is I don't actually
maybe text me later.
Okay.
I'm curious.
But I don't think it was so much that her marriage was breaking down. I think we only ever get her perspective. And I think when you're sleep deprived and you've got an infant, everything that's happening outside of that seems more dramatic than it is. So though he seems like a complete arsehole, and there is an element of men not participating or whatever, there is that element. But I think we've got to take it as that was her view at the time in a very stressful, traumatic situation. So maybe it wasn't quite as black and white as it read. Do you see what I mean?
So she could have had the most supportive partner in the world, but it's just an isolating situation to be in.
Picking out all of the like, maybe. I mean, that was how I read it, but I know other people maybe read it differently. So.
And also, it's harder to communicate when you're sleep deprived. Like all of us, all of us can relate to that, even if you haven't had kids. Like when you're knackered, it's so much harder to communicate. So you have like that element in there as well.
Yeah,
for sure. Oh dear, comments going. Sorry, my screen. No. So yes, right. I'm going to do the next thing, which will be. We're going to do next thing will be favorite recent read by a woman. Both of you.
Sorry, Scott, I forgot to tell you about that.
That's okay.
I've got to see if I can find the banner. Excuse me,
a bunch just on the back of that, ready to go.
No, I'm just trying to find. I can't see my banner.
That's all right. We don't need a banner.
No, that's fine. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay. I'll see if I can remove this one. Then okay. Yeah. So tell us know. We'll pick on Charlotte first because you'll come prepared, and it can give Scott a couple of seconds to think what book
okay,
about. So which was your favourite recent read by a woman, and just tell us about it.
So it's I kind of have three just because I'm not really sure which one to talk about. I have Kairos by Jenny Erpenbeck, which is International Booker. And then I have also What I'd Rather Not Think About, which is also International Booker by a woman. But I thought maybe because this is Women's Prize, kind of park those two to the side, or I'm not sure if you want me to talk about those two or not, or just one of them.
You can talk about them after. You can do whatever you want, honestly. Whatever you like.
But then the most recent one is a kind of historical fiction by Christina Baker Klein, which is an author I've read before. She's written The Exiles, but this one was called A Piece of the World, which has been really, really wonderful. Kind of this one woman who kind of has has had a deformation, I think, in her hips when she was born, so she has a problem walking and stuff, and it's about her life in 1914 and then her life in 1946 as she is a child on this very rural farm up, I think, in Maine, in the US. And then it's kind of this like love story as well, because in 1946 she has an artist staying at her family home that she's now the matriarch of, if you like. And it has kind of whenever I have kind of visiting artist vibes, it always gives me Second Place by Rachel Cusk, which I absolutely adored that book. And so you have this artist who stays on her property, and it's very much about him being interested in her, her being interested in him. And then we flash back to when she was a child and how she struggled, I guess, forming romantic relationships and that sort of thing, and the pressures to get married, and how do you do that in a world where walking is difficult, let alone trying to have all of the other things that need to make a good match socially and with a kind of decent husband, that sort of thing. So it was very quiet, very slice of life, very quaint. So I thought maybe I'd talk about that one rather than the two international.
Well, no, that's really, really good. Who was it by again? So it was a piece of work. Sorry,
Christina Klein.
Christina Klein.
She's got quite a few novels. So
yeah, I've read The Exiles. That was very good.
Yeah. So I feel like she really does what she does well. I think she sticks to the historical fiction genre.
Oh, I love historical fiction. You know that, so yeah, that's cool.
Did you read The Maiden? Oh, no, I'll talk about it later. Sorry.
No, you can tell us. No, you can say.
Maiden, because that's the historical fiction piece on the long list that
I haven't got to it yet. I think the girls have. Have you both read it? Oh, but Jem has.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, but on a list that I didn't enjoy, it was kind of
a high point.
Kind of out. Yeah.
There were loads of people that loved it though, and Katie from Books and Things like gave it 5 stars and loved it, and like some of my bookish friends loved it. So yeah, as well as my sister. I should say that.
I just think there's so many other amazing historical fictions that were released in the last 12 months that were better. That potentially
I do find, but then I find half of what they chose for this year's long list to be odd. So it's just sort of throw in The Maiden as well, sort of thing.
What did you think of it, Scott?
The Maiden, I enjoyed it in the context of all 16 books. I thought it was nice to have something a bit more lighter and a bit fun to freshen it up. I thought it was a good read. It wasn't the best one on the long list, but it did what it was trying to do, and it was fun.
Yeah, that's good.
I would agree, actually. Yeah,
it was a fun read. I was rooting for the prostitute throughout, and
as you do. So, Scott, what was your most recent? Just tell us about a book you loved. It doesn't have to even be recent. Just by a woman. Just tell us.
Well, yesterday I finished Hidden Fires by Sarisha Hussain.
Oh, I want to read that one.
Oh.
Yeah, and
oh, great!
I loved her first book, her debut book.
I thought that this was fantastic. It was just, I was so happy reading this. It's about a Pakistani British mixed race family living in the north of England between Manchester and Bradford, and it's about a 16-year-old girl. She's fat, she's bullied, and she hates her grandfather, and her grandmother on her other side dies and her parents fly off, and then she goes to live with her grandfather, and he's suffering from dementia, and like they're such an odd couple, and they complain. There was this one scene where he's like, she plays her music so loud, blah blah blah, and then the next scene she's like, why does he have the news up so loud? And it's just and they form this really unlikely friendship, and she helps him through his problems, and it all goes back to partition as well, and it gets really dark.
So it's another chunky novel by her then, I take it.
I think it's something like low 400 pages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because her debut book was it The Family Tree? And I just loved that book. It was so, I think that was shortlisted for the Costas when the Costas was about.
I think it was, yeah. And also the Portico Prize, which is the North of England Book Prize.
Oh, there you go. I didn't realise it was listed for that. So yeah, I can't wait to get to it. I'm so pleased you loved it, Scott. That's really, really made me even more excited. That's one of my anticipated reads for the year. So
didn't you predict that for the Women's Prize?
I did, and it's going to be. What was I going to? Oh, my brain is fried today. I don't even know what I'm saying. Just ignore me. But yes, I did predict it. Yes. So, let's have a look on the comments quickly again. I've just seen that someone's mentioning which I already did see.
Oh, yeah.
We've got 99p on Kindle today, Ordinary Human Failings, which is very, very exciting. So nab yourself a copy of that if you want to, if you don't mind. Well, I know obviously Amazon stuff aside. Sorry. But some people do want a bargain. So like if you can put that aside, or else buy yourself a copy from your independent bookshop, if not. We've got Zach, lovely Zach, we love you, Zach. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston had a reference to a play where a man has an affair with a dolphin. That's the question. So, it was very bizarre. So, there we go.
Can he breathe underwater?
I don't know. That might be something to ask.
Yeah, the sheer mechanics of that is.
No, I don't even. I'm not even gonna. Favorite book by a woman. Please, we're not going to talk about dolphin sex on this channel.
You have an interesting hole in your wetsuit, though, right?
Seriously, guys.
It's incredibly difficult to have sex underwater.
All right, okay.
Anybody who can hold their breath for that long.
Well, it depends on how long it takes, really.
It's not a tank on the back. You don't just go down with some one kind of air, one gulp of air.
Do you hear suffocation makes it more?
No. Seriously.
Right, here we go.
I'm going to put you guys in the naughty corners. Emma's going to have her own corner as well.
To be clear, is the naughty corner under the water?
Oh my God.
Right, I'm going to try and move swiftly past this and read this lovely comment. Favorite book by a woman recently is I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca Mackay. I haven't read any Rebecca Mackay. Have any of you guys read any?
Oh gosh, I did, and then moved swiftly on. It's kind of like what you're doing.
So, have you read any Rebecca Mackay?
I did really want to read that one, but
Have you guys read it? Sorry? No. None of you. Okay, that's fine.
No.
I know Jen loves it. Jen loves that book. So
Yeah, I was about to say I know Jennifer loves it.
We know Jen loves that book. My favourite book I've read this year is Take My Hand. Oh, lots of people. I'm sure someone said on our last, was it Sarah said she loved that book.
Yeah, it's really good. I've read that
Sarah
one.
from Freshly Read Books said on our last guest.
That is a Scott book. Scott, have you not read that yet?
No, I'm not.
You would love that.
I need to put it on my list.
Yeah, it's meant to be very, very heartbreaking. So yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So it would be a perfect pick for Misery May then, maybe, if it's heartbreaking.
Ah.
It would be a good pick.
I'll host for that down below. Plug.
Shameless plug.
Totally ordering the dolphin marriage book. That does not surprise me.
And this is why Kieran hasn't read any books that he likes all year.
I know it's a reference, but they're making the whole book personal. Fine. Right. The next thing we're going to do. Oh, this is a good one. We're going to be heading on to, hopefully we're going to touch on this briefly. Ice cream. So it's going to be ice cream. Of course. If I can find the banner.
I already know that I don't like Scott's answer.
Yeah, because it'll be vegan. Because
it's vegan.
Okay, so what for people not realizing what we're talking about, we're going to be asking the guests what their favorite flavor of ice cream is. So we'll start with Scott because we want to make Jem throw up potentially. So yeah, tell us, Scott.
I'm not sure I'll tell you my favorite, but I do have a story about ice cream that will make Jem throw up. In some Asian countries, it's pretty normal to put red kidney beans with ice cream, right? And I was telling my wife, who very much doesn't like red kidney beans, this, and I had made some pasta sauce which had red kidney beans in it, and so as part of a dare, in order to upset my wife, I put the pasta sauce on top of vanilla ice cream and ate
Oh,
it in front of her.
You
Good God.
ate it.
The whole thing.
You ate it.
hang on, I'm
Yeah.
so confused.
You.
The hot sauce onto cold ice cream, or you let it cool down first, and then use it
I
as
let
sort of
it.
like
It
a cold
was
gravy.
room temperature.
I'm not
Not
sure
that
that
makes it any more acceptable. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
I'm
still.
not sure either option.
No.
But I was
No.
imagining some sort of like soup of. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no. It
Why were
was
you
room
trying to make Nell throw up? This is the question.
This was early in our relationship, and this was the sort of thing we would do. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Well, how did it taste, Scott?
I thought it was fine. I mean, the joke was that ice cream improves everything, and I think, yeah, it was. I've had worse ice cream.
Was it with vanilla ice cream then? So it was
Yeah,
vanilla ice
vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I thought that was a more interesting answer than rum and raisin. So
Is that your actual favourite rum and
That's,
raisin?
Yeah,
that's my granddad's favourite ice cream.
yeah, I'm an old person at heart.
Yeah, it's my dad's favourite as well.
Oh, that's
Scott is
it's-
a closet 60, 70-year-old man.
nothing like insulting our guests as always.
I'm sure Scott can take it.
To be fair, I think out of all of them, I think you could take it the most. So, Charlotte, what would your answer be for favourite ice cream?
Well, I was just thinking about what my answer was to the pizza question last year, and it's actually thematic because my pizza answer was a margarita, because you can tell the quality of a restaurant by how decent their kind of margarita. If they can get a margarita right, they can do it all. And so along the same lines, vanilla, because if you can get a vanilla ice cream right, everything else is extra. And so, yeah, I feel I've got to go. So timeless classics is where I'm at.
That's okay. That's okay.
Timeless classics, aka dull.
You're gonna make her yawn. Gem's falling asleep in the corner.
What is Gemma? Like cookie dough with Smarties and caramel sauce and all the extra stuff. Peanuts.
Oh, I love all the extras for sure.
Oh.
But if I was to pick one, it would be pistachio ice cream.
How is that not boring?
That is like the pinnacle of ice cream-ness. That's not a word, but
I see.
all about
I was
pistachio.
expecting some sort of spicy, salty sweet thing, and there's no pistachio.
I have to say, when I was in Rome the other week, I had orange and chili.
Oh, yes.
It was really nice.
Oh, I guess chili and chocolate I've tried, not orange and chili.
It was really good.
Oh, chili and chocolate's an amazing combination. That's a classic combination, isn't
Yes,
it?
it's
Not
good.
all the chili and chocolate.
Yeah, I really think the only incorrect answer to this is vegan ice cream.
Oh,
But
yeah.
some people need vegan ice cream for their belly.
Well, I don't think you've had a good vegan ice cream, Gemma.
I haven't had any vegan
Not
ice
all the
cream.
difference now.
I
And
respect
also,
ice
if you
cream too much.
get a good one, you can't really tell the difference anyway, I think. Like, I don't think you can't, can you?
What is vegan ice cream even made of?
Coconut.
Different things.
Lots of things. Sometimes soy
Coconut.
milk, sometimes coconut.
You just make it out of coconut cream instead of normal cream, because coconut cream is delicious. You can make it out of anything.
I actually think vegan ice cream would be a lot better than vegan pizza.
Oh, yeah. They still haven't
Yeah.
mastered vegan cheese yet.
Isn't
I remember
a
when I
good
went to my
cheese.
plant-based phase. Oh, I really struggled with those sorts of things. My brother was there with his delicious mozzarella pizza, and I was there picking off plasticky cheese on coconut-based cheese, thinking, why am I doing this? I'm saving the animals, but dinner's ruined.
I don't.
There's-
Oh, Jack has lowered the tone.
I can't see.
Last comment. You can make.
Oh,
vegan
that
ice
okay. I'm
cream.
going to head to it straight away. You
What,
can make vegan ice cream out of
avocado?
avocados.
You can make chocolate mousse as well from avocados.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Who would want to? Who would want to do that?
Vegans,
that. Or people that have sensitive tummies.
vegans in a pinch for a sweet something.
Even if I was a vegan, I still wouldn't eat an avocado.
Wait,
Guacamole.
is this just general avocado hate, Gemma?
It's full avocado
What
hate.
do you-
Anything
what do
avocado
you dip your
related.
potato chips in? What do you dip your nachos in? Guacamole.
Salsa.
Oh.
How
I
much?
don't like sour cream either.
So what did you say, Scott?
Jesus Christ. How can anyone not like sour cream?
That would be like the most boring nachos in the universe.
Yeah, I'll just be there with some chopped up tomatoes dipping in my chips. In fact, that's vegan,
yeah.
Gemma. Just chopped tomatoes. And...
Maybe I'm a closet vegan that hates avocados.
I am with Jen with the apple pie. I love a bit of apple pie and vanilla ice cream. That is,
I prefer apple crumble. Not really a pie person.
oh, well.
Either or.
See, I don't like melted ice cream. So, like, I can't put it with something hot because
What
then
do you
it
do in the
melts.
heat?
I don't eat ice cream.
That's when you need it the most.
Well, or I have to eat it really quickly.
You have to
before
eat it so
melts.
quickly it doesn't melt.
When you put
Because
it
I
in
don't
your
like
mouth,
cream.
I know what you're going for, Scott. It does melt when it goes in your mouth. You're right, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's fine because I can't see it anymore. It's like a visual.
So would you eat it blindfold?
The brain of Jem.
No, because I would know that was what you were feeding me. Like, I don't like opaque liquids.
I'm not going to say anything. Please don't say anything. Don't any of you.
What?
Right. I'm going to go
moving
over. This is because they're all dirty-minded sausages. I'm going to go over to the this comment, which is, I accidentally had a vegan Magnum yesterday, and it was better than the normal ones.
Wow.
So there you go.
Maybe I
Magnum
need
makes
to try
nice-
one.
Best vegan ice cream, I think, is the Ben and Jerry's, though. I love a bit of Ben and Jerry's vegan ice cream.
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough is good. But like
And
the
Danny
non-vegan
said,
one,
Danny said, I'm with Jem on the pistachio ice cream is one of her favourites.
for sure.
Right, the next section of our content of our thing that we do every time is we're going to be doing, and I will find the banner for this because I do definitely have a banner prepared if I can scroll up to it. Please forgive in a second, just forgive my inept. Where is it? It is here. Where is it? Here we go.
So far.
It's our game.
Women
Yes, drum roll, please. So the next part that we do with our lovely guests, we like to put our guests through the ringer, even though sometimes they turn the tables and put us through the ringer, as you know, with Ben and Jen, but we'll move on from that. So we are playing the game, which is women versus, the first part will be women versus Booker. So before we start our game, you guys need to come up with a buzzer sound, which personally I think is the best bit. It makes me laugh. So,
Sure.
So you can buzz in. So, yeah. So we've had various different buzzer sounds. We've had quacks. I really like the quack. We've had meows. I can't remember what Ben's was. That was quite a fun one. But yeah,
It wasn't his hummus. He just
Hummus.
said
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did make me laugh. So yes. So I'm gonna go to Charlotte first. Sorry, picking on you first. You're literally right next to me, Charlotte. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna go with like a weird word that people might not know. Because my family on my mum's side is from the Black Country in England, and so they have a bunch of weird words that I didn't know that most people knew until I kind of entered high school and went to like more of a county school than kind of like local primary school. So my Black Country word is going to be fizzog. Does anyone know what it means?
No, tell us.
Is it face?
Yes, it's face.
Yeah, I know
So
fizzle.
fizzog. Like an educational buzzword there.
Oh, I love that. I love
international
that so
folk.
much.
Nice.
Bring it back to your roots as well, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Scott, what will your buzzer sound be?
I feel like I need to come up with an Aussie word that
Oh yeah. Oh, let's
please
see
do.
it. Oh yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Vegemite.
Oh, dear.
On theme.
So if we hear the words, what did you say yours was? Fizzog.
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 Okay, so is it fizzog or bit? But you got right. Yeah. So yeah. The girls can be helping with that. So. Right, right. So yes, so we've got. I'm going to name. I've got some authors' names, and you've got to tell us whether it's a Women's Prize author or a Booker author. So you get that.
Or both.
Or both. Yes. Oh, sorry. Or both. Yes, that is an option. Yes.
Have you scrapped neither then? It's no longer neither. It's just 3 categories. Women's, Booker or both.
It can be neither, can't it?
It can be neither as well. Or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, it could be neither.
It could be. It could be.
But it's probably not.
I've come up with a list, so you can work that out today. So the first one is an author that you guys are familiar with. I know Scott's familiar with this author. It's
Margaret Atwood.
It's Anne-Marie MacDonald, the author of Fane. So is
Fizog.
she? Sorry.
Fizog.
Oh.
Women's.
Yes! Ding 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 ding!
Ah, there we go.
She was longlisted for the Women's Prize in 1997 with a book called Fall on Your Knees.
Never heard of it.
No, I haven't heard of it either, but I was just excited that she won another.
On my TBR though because of Scott.
Yeah,
Right?
I think everyone's got that on their TBR because of Scott.
Well, Ray sold it that video, Scott.
You loved Fane, didn't you?
I did. It was superb.
I've got it literally. I can literally see it in front of me, right in front of my bookshelves, because it's like stood up. Oh my days! Anyway. It's quite a chunky book though, but yeah, it's a good book. Right. So the next author we've got it's a Charlotte. So listen, it's a Charlotte Mendelssohn.
Vegemite.
Oh,
Scott got it.
Yeah, she's been nominated for the Women's Prize twice.
Yeah,
listed and
with
longlisted.
that one that's got a house on the front cover.
So you're saying Women's Prize?
Women's Prize. Oh, yeah, she could be both. But
Yeah,
no, I'm going to
saying
Women's Prize.
But if Scott's saying women's, I may as well say both because Scott said women's.
It is in fact both. Which is sorry. You are correct though, Scott. She has been longlisted twice. She was longlisted for the Women's Prize, so it was the Booker in 2013 and the Women's Prize in 2014 with the same book. It was Almost English, and then obviously 2022 we know she was longlisted. Was it shortlisted as well? I can't remember for the Exhibitionist. Yeah, that was 2022. Yeah, that was a book that had the most annoying characters. They were so annoying. Leah, and who was the man? He was even worse. No, the daughter was worse.
I don't know.
Did you read that book, Scott?
I did, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was also shortlisted. She was shortlisted in 2008, the year somebody else won.
Yeah. Okay, I must have missed that. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
In the research. Got it close.
How do you remember things like that? Like, I can't even remember what year my kids were born in sometimes.
I did look up the 2008 shortlist recently for some reason. I don't know why, but I was like, oh, Charlotte Mendelssohn. She was on. That's probably why she got longlisted with that terrible book the other year.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was Leah. Leah was the worst one, but the father was, oh my God, the father in that book. Oh, The Exhibitionist. Oh, I don't know. That was the one book I finished. I'm like, why did I finish that book? Anyway, so the next book. So you guys are keeping track of the points. The next author is Anita Bruckner.
Fizog. Booker.
Yes. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, great.
Whoa, Scott, she is wiping the floor with you.
Oh, it's only early doors. It's only the third author, so we're doing okay. Yes, she was longlisted for the Booker in 2002 for The Next Big Thing. So right, the next I'm going to move straight on to the next one, so we keep it going. The next author is Rachel Joyce.
Fizog. I think women's.
Okay, I'm going to pass it over.
I'll go for both.
Oh no! Ding.
Oh.
It
Just Booker.
The Booker, yeah, because
That's
I
the
was
Booker.
sure she would have been longlisted for the Women's Prize, but she wasn't. I went over the list a lot. Yeah, it was
I have no
2000.
idea if she is. I just guessed.
It was. Can you guys guess which book it was?
Was it
Haven't a
Harold
clue.
Fry?
Yeah, Harold Fry. Yeah, it was 2012 with the Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. You're right, Jen.
My mum's read that book, not me.
Oh
she
yeah,
I
it's a
loved
good
got it on
book.
my Kindle.
It's a good book. It's a cute book. Rachel Joyce writes lovely books. They are slightly a little bit heartbreaking in places, but they're quite gentle, really, in the grand scheme of German Scott things. So yeah, the next author is Jessie, or the final author from this part of the game is Jessie Greengrass.
Fizog. Booker. She wrote a book about the environment. It's got like a pink and black front cover.
Yes, you are right that she. Yeah, I could. Yeah, but you're wrong for the. Not for the wrong prize. So, or like, so, no. I don't know. I don't know what the answers are. Either which way. So, Scott, what is it? Both or?
I'll go for the woman's.
Yes. I'm gonna give that one away.
When I heard Eric speak about that book, I could have.
Yeah, you are right. No, you're completely right. It was for Sight. She was longlisted for Sight.
That's a different book.
In 2018. It did have that I'm sure it did have a pink and blacky cover. I think that's right.
But I think it was a different one. I think it was the High House or something. The environment.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one when you described it.
If it was on the Booker as well, and people call me out in the comments, I'm
I
sorry.
think it wasn't it on one of the High House one? Wasn't it on one of the the Canadian Book Prize or?
Yeah, I just looked at the Booker and the Women's Prize. As far as I know, I've done it right. If I'm wrong,
So it's just for the women's. Jessie Greengrass is just women's prize, not Booker at all.
Just the Women's Prize. Yeah, just the Women's Prize. As
Oh,
far as
wow.
my research has told me. So yes, that's the first part. That was the first part of the game. So before we moved on to our, I'm going to try and find the other one. Here we
Oh,
go.
the High House was shortlisted for the Costa.
There we go.
Oh, that's where I know it from.
Yes, but you are right. You did write that book. So yeah. Right. The next part of the game. So where are we so far, girls, with the scores? Tell us with the scores.
3-1.
Sorry.
3-1.
3-1. Okay, so you can still bring this back, Scott. I believe in you.
I've got a chance. Yeah.
I'm rooting for you, Scott. Well, and I'm impartial to obviously as well, but no. I don't know. I always root for the underdog. You know me.
You've become the underdog, Scott.
I'm sorry. Oh, I love you, Scott. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's stay focused here, you guys. Seriously. Anyway, right. So the author is I'll explain actually. So the people that don't know that are watching this, the idea of this game is I'm going to say another author, and these are all Women's Prize listed authors, and they've got to say whether they're long listed, shortlisted, or never. And we are aware, as a caveat, that if they've been shortlisted, they have also been longlisted. We do know this, but for the premise of this game, you have to work with us that where we're going with it.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah. So right. So the first author up is Sandra Newman.
Fizog.
Buzzer.
I think she's been longlisted.
Yes, you are correct.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
I
This is going surprisingly well. I'm looking at it. I failed so bad on his live stream.
She was longlisted in 2015 for The Country of Ice Cream Star, which I think is quite a cool title, actually. Not heard of the book before now, but it's quite a cool title. And next author, I feel like you'll know this, Scott. I'm hoping you're going to know this. So get your buzzer ready, please, Scott.
Fingers crossed.
So I put this in for you. There's a few authors I put in for you. So, Toni Morrison.
Fizog.
You might.
So slow.
Short list, because I don't think she's actually won it.
You are right. She has been shortlisted. And
Really? This is going so well.
she's so good. You don't stand a chance, but I'm sorry, I was trying.
I was too slow.
You've read quite a few Toni Morrison, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, and I've not liked a single one of them because I'm a heathen.
Oh no!
I mean,
I didn't know that you didn't like any of her books.
Toni Morrison that I like.
Sorry?
Me too. I've yet to meet a Toni Morrison I've liked.
I read Sula recently and loved it. Have any of you read Sula?
No, I haven't tried.
I like it.
Oh no, Scott! Don't tell me that. You break my heart.
I'm a heathen.
Okay. Yeah, so she was shortlisted with Paradise in 1999, and she was also longlisted for A Mercy in 2009. For those people that are interested. Then we've got another author. Ready? Get your buzzers ready, please. I'm trying. Right. Get ready. Maeve Binchy.
Fizzog.
So quick, don't stand
Long
up.
list.
Long listed, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Scott.
Shortlisted.
Yeah, but it's neither, is it? It's neither.
It's never. She's never been.
I was
longlisted.
going to say neither, but then I hedged. Oh dear.
And you can thank the sponsor of that answer for Charlie. Charlie helped me come up with that one. So yeah. Right. The next author is Roma Turn.
Vegemite.
Ah, Scott was
Whoa.
first.
Scott got in.
Yeah.
Please get it right. Please get it right.
Shortlisted. Oh no.
Long list. She's been long listed.
Yeah, she's been longlisted. Charlotte's right. She gets the point. Sorry, Scott. I'm so sorry. She was longlisted with The Swimmer in 2011.
Oh.
Right, the last author. I don't think Scott's got in with a chance to win, but we might be able to get you like.
I don't think I can even win respect at this stage.
Our respect. You might be able to like get a point. Really, I'm crossing my fingers for you, Scott. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The last author is Jeanette Winterson.
Fizzog.
You guys can call it. Jem and Alice can call it. Who I don't know.
I
who
think
did.
it was Scott.
Yeah, go.
She must be shortlisted. Surely she's been shortlisted. Oh no, she's not.
I'm gonna pass it over to.
See, I'm really debating here on whether she's one of those people that's never been longlisted, and it's kind of like going to be a shock, or whether she has actually been longlisted. So I'm going to say never.
She has actually been longlisted. She was longlisted with The Power Book in 2001. I honestly would have thought she would have, because she writes a lot of books. I honestly thought she would have been longlisted a lot more. Like, she has what book prize did she win? Because did she win? I feel like she has won. Because Oranges Aren't the Only Fruit didn't win anything. Did it win the?
That's that long one. Yeah, I remember that one.
The Passion won something, didn't it?
I don't know. According to my research on this prize, I could, unless I've like messed it all up, you guys can tell me in the comments. Go for it. Slay me if I'm wrong. As far as I know, it was 2001. She was longlisted. So yeah, that's the game concluded. Tell us what the points are, girls.
I don't think we need to, do we?
But you can all vote for which sound you like the best. You won't get any extra points for it, but they might want to know. Like, who is your favourite?
Well, Scott would need to get an additional 6 points for his buzzer in order to win.
Oh, Scott, I'm so sorry.
Oh, dear, I love it that the person who pumps up the most women's prize content got 1 point on that quiz.
And you've read all of the books as well. Like, you literally tried every like. You know what?
Normally I like trivia.
But you are our hero, so it's fine.
I don't. I think I just got slaughtered by Charlotte's superior buzzer skills. And...
I think
you're so competitive. You're so brilliant. Round of applause for Charlotte, everybody.
Oh, yeah. I think you're just too horizontal, Scott.
We love you, Charlotte.
I had strong motivation to redeem myself, so.
You did brilliantly. And you're so quick with that buzzer. That was. I think that helped.
Well, it's because was it Scally Dandling around the books who, when she was on with Sarah, she was saying her buzzer noise and then having like a 1 or 2 second little think about it. So I kind of took inspiration from that.
Oh, I didn't even clock that.
Learning Roz's skills.
Yeah. Roz is a powerhouse. We all love Roz. And she did that with a broken shoulder. She literally days before broken a shoulder.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
I don't even know how she came along, honestly. She was amazing. But anyway. So yes, I will quickly say hello on the comments just quickly before we like close up and say who women predicted winners, etc. But yeah, so we've got Brian. Hi, Brian. Brian actually will be our next guest. I'll put that along actually in a minute. Along.
We love Brian.
I can find my banners. Oh, on a second. Oh, it is. I picked the right banner. Yes, that was good, wasn't it? Anyway, yes,
Very
Brian, our next guest, before we are going to carry on talking for a little bit longer, but I might as well say it whilst he's here. Brian and Eric are going to be on our next guest along the Plodalong on the 14th of May over on Alice's channel, isn't it, Alice?
I believe so.
At 8 p.m. BST. Yes. Hi, Brian. Special mention to Brian.
Brian's just written in the comments that he's terrified.
Oh, we love you. We'll look after you, Brian. Don't worry.
Well, Charlie will. Charlie's like the caring one.
Don't know about that. We've got the lovely Shelley. We love Shelley. Shelley's the best. Oh, you've got fall on your knees. Oh, that's good. There you go.
Ooh.
That's good. That is the book we talked about. Zach, I think chook is my favourite Australian slang word.
What is
Chook
it? What is it?
chicken or woman?
Chook.
Chook. It normally means chicken, but it can mean person or child or woman, depending on.
Oh, okay.
It's like a reused.
Kind of like duck in England.
Yes.
Oh, I see. All right, duck. That kind of thing.
I do
Right.
call people chicken sometimes as well, though. Does anyone
Ah.
else?
But normally if they're like, 2 feet tall,
Yeah.
maybe 3 feet tall, 4 feet.
Okay. Jen said that. Jen said she loves Sula. How can you not like Toni Morrison?
I think it's just very verbose. Like she's just, I think, the whole poet thing.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, is it?
I know.
Yeah.
That was the only book I've read of hers, but I only read it recently. I just thought it was really, really good. But yeah. So Sula goes to the top of Shelley's list. Yay! Don't forget to tap the like button.
Oh, good shout, Zach.
Well done. We love Zach. Yeah, we love Zach. You don't need to be terrified, Brian. Don't worry. Absolutely loving your guests you've had on. Such a great mix. Thank you. We're so lucky that the brilliant guests we've had this year. Me and Jem and Alice are so grateful, aren't we, guys?
For sure.
And it's been so much fun. Like every week, we never know what to expect.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right. I'm going to click off the comment. So what? Oh dear. Oh, sorry. What do you guys think will be like? What's your predicted winners? Because I know you kind of touched it a little bit, maybe hinting at it a little bit. Scott kind of did. So
Sorry.
No. But you can say no. You can say reaffirm because there might be people that have missed the beginning a bit. Tell us, Scott. What's your predicted winner?
I think Enter Ghost is the most likely winner from the shortlist.
Is that the one you'd want as the winner as well?
That's the one I want to win. Although there's a few I'd be quite happy to win, but I think Enter Ghost has got it. I think it's rereadable, and I think rereadable with the book prize when you got to read it 3 times. That's a big thing.
Oh, for sure. Charlotte, what would your predicted winner be?
I also think Enter Ghost is the most likely winner. But then I would also say River East, River West would be a fitting end to my personal 2024 journey in terms of
The only one I've not read.
disappointing end. I think it would just round out the season very well. But yeah, I think in terms of most likely, Enter Ghost.
No, I do think that probably will win. Do you guys agree, Jem and Alice?
I'm still backing Soldier Sailor.
Yeah.
I think Soldier Sailor's got a good chance. I think that would be my second if I was a bookmaker, I'd make that second favourite.
I love that book. That would be so cool if that one. I feel like it'd be a bit of a shock if that one, but I think because it's such a hearty book, like it's a heart-filled book.
Are you lot going to the garden party again?
Yeah.
Are you? Ooh.
And I'm going this year as well, which is a lovely treat. I now tickets, so yes.
Nice.
And Alice, what was your predicted winner for the Women's Prize be? Have you had any changes since you've read your?
I haven't read Enter Ghost yet, but I do think Enter Ghost's got a really good chance. But I'm still going Anne Enright.
Oh yeah, the
Enright
Anne maths.
has served me well so far, so it's going to be the Ren.
Yes, for sure.
First
Yeah,
author to win
which could
both
be-
prizes.
Yeah, because it's like she's got a lot of books, very well respected. So maybe it's kind of like her turn, if that's even a thing.
It's her year.
Oh,
Her year.
for that boring piece of rubbish, though. Come on.
Yeah, it was on the boring side.
Yeah, the middle was rather dull,
Yeah. And the end.
So
and nothing really happened in it. So you could argue the ending.
And this is
as
from
well.
the advocate of this book. Nothing very
I didn't love
But
it.
I
I'm
think
just
it
saying
should
I think
win.
Anne Enright- It's just maths, people. It's maths. It's not anything else. Also, maths is my worst subject, so don't rely on this math.
we're still thinking of it as Alice psychic maths, because you were right that she was going to be longlisted. I feel like you predicted it. You predicted her being the winner. This is your moment, Alice.
This is where everyone's like, well, Alice said it was going to be Anne Enright, but it was blatantly something else. Dolly
you
Maunder,
mentioned-
probably.
For those of you watching that don't realise, last year, I know this is Booker, but Alice read one book from the Booker last year, and it won. She read Prophet Song, and she called it. Like, I feel like she called it for the winner. So
I had like a dreadful time reading like 6 of them, and none of them even got shortlisted.
I have such high hopes for this summer because I've already checked out the judges, and they
Ooh.
all are really impressive. The kind of people where I'm thinking,
Well, tell us this. I want some
could
information on this, Charlotte. I want this.
I could take a book recommendation from you. So we have Sarah Collins, who Simon Savage has spoken about a lot. I think he's friends with her, or in the same kind of bookish circles. And then we also have a guy who's kind of into storytelling art exhibits, from what I know. I think he's Dutch, or he's like
What's his
a Dutch
name?
surname. I'm not going to try and pronounce
Okay.
it or remember. Then we have a guy called Nitin, who is more in the music industry, I would say. Then we have another woman, I've forgotten her name. No, it's not coming to me. But then we also have, the woman who wrote the Book of Goose,
Ian Lee.
Ian Lee.
Ian Lee.
She's on it. Not necessarily because I liked that book, but because she's got a bunch of different like pen awards and like an award list as long as your arm sort of thing.
And also that means
I
she's
feel like she'd be
hopefully
great
she's a
in
proper
terms of
reader.
being well read. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think
exactly,
she's read
yeah.
a lot. And also the same for the woman that I can't remember the name of. She also has a really impressive kind of like career in what she's done. The sort of woman that I feel would be able to give some great literature recommendations. So having seen those 5, and really, yes, it's like the Women's Prize, or yes, it's like the Booker Prize, but really it's like 5 people who are bringing their own kind of stuff. So
It will be hilarious if you now like none of the books. Charlotte.
With bated breath, Charlotte.
But I'm thinking like I think two or three of the women on this year's Women's Prize panel are kind of like mummy columnists. Like they have a blog, or they have like a social media presence around being a mother and parenting and being a wife and all this sort of thing. And then it's like half the list is motherhood themed. I feel like it might go. I feel like that there is something in that. Like they're going to be leaning towards books that obviously they enjoy. So
Yeah, that's fair enough.
yeah, it's fair enough.
So hopefully, I don't want to read the book of this year. I don't want to read the book of this year. You don't get me excited.
Why not?
You'll totally read
We're
it.
trying to
Charlie.
hold off and actually read our shelves this year. Like,
But how can you have opinions on book prizes if you don't read them?
I know.
I won't be able to. That'll be the answer to that.
Charlie will read them for us.
For
No,
sure.
I might try a couple.
All of them.
I'll just have to just like put my fingers in my ears when I watch your guys' videos, because that's what will do it. You'll be persuading us.
And it does clash with Women in Translation Month every year, having Booker in August and Women in Translation in August.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a TBR heavy month for me that month.
Are you hosting that this year?
Sorry.
Well, I'm doing my own one. Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, I've got like
Oh, is that like an exciting
like a readathon
peek?
thing.
Nice.
I've got like different. I've got 12 kind of challenges, and I've got little boxes to put on Instagram and stories and whatnot, so you can put your little book in each thing.
Ooh.
I have like a jet setter category. You know, choose a book from a continent that you'd like to visit. Then
So
I've got like
exciting.
I've got like a cinematic category where you choose a book that's been adapted into a movie, and then I've got a playlist category where you read a book and listen to the music from that country.
That is so cool. I love
Oh
that.
no,
yeah,
I
I've got
feel like
some
I've got to go and buy a load of translated books now.
And a group read. The group read is going to be a Magda Sabo novel called Isa's Ballad.
Oh,
I've never read one of hers before.
ages.
So yeah, the group read is that. So I'm very excited.
Well, there you go, everyone. Everyone subscribe
Heard
to
it here
Charlotte if
first,
you're not already.
guys.
Yeah, I haven't actually announced it yet, so I guess this is it.
Exclusive. We love an exclusive. I feel like I should put an exclusive banner across. So closing up, thank you everyone that came to watch. You guys are so lovely, and you plodders are the best. You make it what it is. And then also special thank you to our amazing guests, Charlotte and Scott. Thank you so much for coming back. We're so grateful that you put yourselves out for us. So yes, we're very, very grateful. So everyone, and thank you to my lovely co-hosts as well, obviously Jem and Alice. You guys are the best. So yeah, we'll see you next time over on Alice's channel on the 14th of May at 8 p.m. BST with our special guests Eric, Carl Anderson, and Brian from Bookish. So we'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.